Hello, everybody. I'm Vaishali Sethi, and I'm going to present my topic for PIDP 3300 Teaching Adults with the Brain in Mind. So that's my course name, and I'm going to present my topic on brain foods and adult learning today. I was hoping to get more participants, but we have no participant, but less. Anyways, I'm going to introduce and explain all the topics as you will be watching my video later. So let me quickly share my screen with all of you with my PPT. All right. So I hope you guys can see my screen on brain foods and adult learning. So I'll be starting my presentation now. So hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Again, I'm introducing myself. My name is Vaishali Sethi and I'm very excited to present my session titled Brain Foods and Adult Learning, which is for nourishing the mind to enhance cognitive skills. So this presentation is going to bring together two things that has deeply influenced our daily lives, which is nutrition and learning. We often think of learning as purely a mental process, right? But something that happens inside the brain. But the truth is that what we eat directly affects how our brain is functioning. So today we are going to explore what kinds of foods truly feed the mind, improve focus, memory, and creativity, and how adult learners like us can use this knowledge to improve our performance, well-being, and even our teaching practice. So let's dive into our brain, how the brain and the most energy demanding organ of our body depends on food, what we choose every single day. So the agenda for today's um, session would be that we'll be understanding about the brain nutrition first, why it is so important and how it impacts the adult learning. Then we will look at the key nutrients that help fuel our brain, followed by how these nutrients work in real life through the gut-brain axis, which is sometimes also called as our second brain. We will then explore the mind diet, a scientifically proven approach to protect and strengthen our brain health. And from there, we'll discuss some dietary diversity and learning. And I'll also share some practical applications which you can apply as educators or learners. And then finally, we'll end up with an action plan, which are like few simple evidence-based steps, which you can take to keep your brain nourished for lifelong learning. So let's start by understanding how the brain actually uses the food we eat. So what is our brain? So your brain is the most energy demanding organ in your body. Did you know that? It actually makes up only about 2% of your body weight and it consumes roughly 20% of your daily energy. I know this is huge, which means even when we are sitting quietly, our brain is constantly at work processing our thoughts, solving problems, storing memories, and even making some connections, right? The quality of fuel we provide, whether from processed snacks or nutrient rich foods, directly affects how efficiently our brain performs. So, according to Gomez Pinilla, a research study done in 2008, nutrition doesn't just impact physical health, it actually influences the synaptic plasticity, which is like the brain's ability to create and strengthen neural connections. So, this is the biological foundation for learning. So when we talk about feeding our mind, we actually mean that we are giving to neurons the raw material they need to learn, adapt, and grow. So in short, better nutrition means better learning, right? So in this, let's start understanding by how brain foods connect with adult learning. So our brains are like high performance engines. They need constant fuel to function well. The brain nutrition importance section here explains that the brain depends on nutrients such as glucose, healthy fats, amino acids, and vitamins to stay energized and sharp. Without them, our focus and memory can quickly drop. And the next part, the impact on cognitive performance. So it reminds us that food choices directly influence how we think and how we learn. So balanced diets rich in whole grains or fruits and healthy fats help us to improve our memory, concentration, and even problem solving. While processed food, it can slow down these functions. So finally, in the last box, if you can see the mind diet benefits, it highlights a practical way to eat for the better learning. So mind here is an acronym which is used for Mediterranean dash intervention dash diet or mind diet. We call it as mind diet. So it blends healthy eating habits to protect the brain, boost attention, and support lifelong learning. So, in short, brain foods don't just feed our body, they actually fuel our ability to learn, to adapt, and to perform our best. So, now why nutrition matters for learning? So, now think of your brain as a high performance car. So, it can do incredible things, but only if you're giving the right fuel. What if you're giving the wrong fuel, right? So, similarly, the brain runs on nutrients like glucose, healthy fats, amino acids, vitamins, minerals. So, glucose is the brain's primary source of energy. It is like a premium fuel. Healthy fats, especially like omega 3, keeps the brain wiring flexible and fast. Amino acids and vitamins act like, how do I say, lubricants for neurotransmitters. So they help the messages travel smoothly between the neurons. And when these nutrients are consistently available, we experience better focus, sharper memory, and more stable moods. But when we deprive the brain, that means we skip the meals, we eat processed food, or we rely on only caffeine, our concentration, patience, or even creativity can drop dramatically. So, good nutrition is not optional, it is the foundation for sustainable adult learning, right? Now let's talk about look at more closely at the key nutrients and the brain boosting foods. So, yeah, we'll talk about like certain nutrients which stand out as particularly powerful allies for our brain health, like omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, vitamins, and choline. So, in the next slide, I'm going to talk about here. Sorry. Yeah. So here let's look closely at these nutrients one by one. So number one is omega-3 fatty acids. So these are like the essential fats. So basically they are the building blocks of brain cell membranes. So you will find these kind of this nutrient in salmon, walnuts, flax seeds are really helpful in this. So they help the neurons to communicate better and improve learning and memory, right? The second one is antioxidants. So antioxidants are like, think of these as like brain's protective shield. So like they protect your brain, right? And so this is actually found in berries, in green tea, dark chocolate, and they neutralize the harmful free radicals that can damage brain cells over the period of time. That is why antioxidants are really, really important. Then the next is vitamin B and choline. So these vitamins help produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and then we have that feel good and focus factors like these kind of chemicals, right? So when we have eat vitamins and more of these, so we feel good, we have the dopamine effect in our body. Eggs, spinach, lentils are the great resources of these vitamin B's and choline. So we should eat that daily. Then we have polyphenols and nitrates. These are like found in colorful plants like grapes and beetroot. So they increase our blood flow to the brain and ensuring that it gets enough oxygen and nutrients to stay alert. So each of these foods support a different part of the cognitive machinery, and together they create a well-tuned mental ecosystem. So all of them are equally important to have them in our diet. Now, I'll just in this slide, we're going to have this overview of some of the best brain boosting foods, and which makes them so powerful. Like the first one is fatty fish, like salmon, trout, and sardines, which are packed with omega 3s, which help with learning, memory, and mood regulation. So they are basically our brain fuel. Then we have leafy greens such as spinach, kale. They are rich in vitamin K, lutein, and folate. All of them are known to slow our cognitive decline and support our health, brain aging. Then the third one is berries, which are another superstar food. So it is full of flavonoids that improve our memory and reaction time while protecting the brain from oxidative stress. And then the next one is nuts and seeds, which provide omega 3s and vitamin E, both of which protect our brain cells and enhance our cognitive performance. Moving on, we have eggs, which are excellent source of choline, which supports memory and helps produce neurotransmitters, like the chemicals which help brain cells, which to talk to each other. And for many of us, our favorite, coffee or tea, not only improve alertness through caffeine, but also deliver antioxidants that protect against mental fatigue. But it doesn't mean we are just relying on coffee and tea the whole day. So everything should be in balance. Then we have beetroot. So that might surprise you. They are rich in natural nitrates that improve blood flow to the brain, helping oxygen reach cells more efficiently. And yes, dark chocolate, at least 70% cocoa, it should have 70% cocoa. So it also helps us support focus, memory, mood through our flavonols. So a little indulgence can actually be good for you. And finally, the whole grains and legumes, which provide slow, steady energy to the brain, preventing the crashes we get from sugary foods. So, together, these foods work like symphony, each contributing a different note to support focus, clarity, and emotional balance. Now, let's talk about how our food affects the brain function on a metabolic level. So, what is the metabolic connection? So, our brain is constantly converting the nutrients into energy. When blood sugar, that means glucose level, are stable, our attention and problem solving stays consistent. But when sugar spikes and crashes so it is like we ate so much of sugar, so it our focus fades away. We feel like foggy. According to a study by Gomez, Pinilia, and Tyagi in 2013, mitochondrial function, basically how efficiently our cells convert food into energy, determines how well our brain can sustain learning. And here is a fascinating point, diet. So the diet quality also influence our neurotrophic factors like BDNF, which is like proteins that literally grow our neurons and strengthen existing ones. So the overall food is not just a fuel, right? It is an active participant in shaping the architecture of our brain. I hope it is insightful for you guys. And then nutrition is also kind of a lifelong partner in our cognitive development. At every stage of our life, it is important what kind of nutrition we are having. For example, during childhood, breakfast quality and micronutrients like iron, zinc are linked to better attention and memory. Then in adulthood, like balanced patterns such as the mind or Mediterranean diets helps maintain focus and emotional resilience. And in older age, nutrients like omega 3s and antioxidants show a slow cognitive decline. So it helps us to restore our brain cells. So the beauty of nutrition is its cumulative effect. Habits built today protect our brain for decades to come. So whether you are studying, teaching, parenting, or in your old life, you're just you're also influencing your long-term mental agility through your plate. So just keep an eye on what you're eating every day. And then now here's something even more interesting, which is your gut. So your gut actually talks to your brain. So your gut health is equally important. So scientists call this gut-brain axis a communication highway between your digestive system and your central nervous system. So again, according to a study by Ahmed et al., which is a very recent study in 2025, a diet rich in fiber, probiotics, and plant-based foods help cultivate beneficial gut bacteria. So these bacteria produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine again, which regulate mood and motivation and learning. On the other hand, if we are eating diets which are heavy in processed foods or more fats, and then so they can actually destroy this delicate balance, leading to inflammation, stress, and poor mental clarity. So, next time when you think about your mental well being, remember your second brain is in the gut doing half of the work, right? So, healthy diet will lead to a balanced microbiome, which is a diverse gut bacteria, and it is going to lead you to a mental wellness. So, improved mood and improved focus. Now let's talk about the mind, diet, and the cognitive health. So, what are basically, again, what is the relation between that? So, one of the most powerful eating patterns for brain longevity is this mind diet. So, again, like I mentioned before, it is a short form for Mediterranean dash intervention of neurodegenerative delay. So, that's the complete full form of mind diet. So basically, it emphasizes foods like green leafy vegetables, berries, nuts, fish, beans, olive oil, whole grains, and they limit red meat, butter, sweets, fried food. So research, again, there's a research by Loreda et al. In 2019. It shows that the adherence to this mind diet can reduce cognitive decline by 4%, and it improves our memory performance, basically. So think of it as like as the best of the both worlds, Mediterranean balance plus heart smart dash principles, right? So we have to keep everything healthy. 6 servings of greens and 2 servings of berries per week can make a measurable difference in your memory and learning capacity. Isn't it so simple? So just try having at least 6 times greens and 2 times of berries in your food items on weekly basis, right? Then research also indicates that adherence to this mind diet is associated with reduced risk of cognitive decline. So what does that mean? So again, there was a study done which involved adults over 45, found that 4% lower risk among those who were following this kind of a diet. So they were following mind diet. So there was like 4% less less risk of cognitive decline in those adults. Also, there are a lot of other systematic reviews which have shown that higher mind adherence correlates with better cognitive scores, particularly in older adults, right? And then we have these middle-aged individuals who are participating in randomized trials, reported improvement in mood and quality of life. Although cognitive gains may require long-term adherence, but yeah, still, if they are involved in this kind of food items, this kind of diet, so it helps them to improve their mood and quality of life in the long run. So these findings actually underscore the diet's potential as a practical strategy for enhancing our cognitive function and supporting the adult learning. I hope that is clear. Now, coming to a very interesting topic related to this, which is our dietary diversity and learning. So, again, this is going to surprise you that how dietary diversity itself is linked to cognitive sharpness. So, a very varied diet means that you are getting wider spectrum of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, all of which play unique roles in your brain function. So, you must have heard about this eating the rainbow, right? It is not just a colorful metaphor. It is like an effective strategy to fuel different cognitive systems. So, in short, variety keeps the brain adaptable, creative, and resilient. So, now what are the benefits of having these dietary diversity in our food? So, dietary diversity basically it is defined as the variety of food groups which are consumed over a period of time and is crucial for maintaining our cognitive health. So, most of the studies have shown that a high dietary diversity is linked to better memory, reduced risk of dementia, and lower incidence of Alzheimer's disease as well. So, a diverse diet ensures a broad spectrum of nutrients supporting various aspects of brain functions. So for these adult learners, this means that improved mental sharpness, enhanced learning abilities, and greater resilience against cognitive decline. So, promoting this dietary diversity is like a promising approach to support our lifelong cognitive performance and educational success. So, I hope in the picture you can see that how this dietary diversity means that including all types of food items in our daily food in our daily diet, basically. Now, let's talk about some practical applications for adult learners. So, what are the practical applications for all of us? So it's like when we integrate our brain healthy nutrition into adult learning environment, so how we can significantly improve our cognitive performance. So how can adult learners apply this knowledge in their daily lives? Yes, so I'm going to share that right now. So first of all, we should have a balanced nutrition. So brain healthy nutrition. So what does this mean? So balanced nutrition means meals with good proteins, healthy fats, fiber, and so we should have all of these in our food, which maintains steady glucose levels in in our brain for sustained focus, and it supports our concentration and alertness as well. And the second one is timing and caffeine intake. So we should have a smart timing. So caffeine before study sessions can improve attention, but too late in the day, it can disrupt sleep, which harms memory consolidation. So what time are you taking caffeine is really, really important. So avoid late night caffeine intake because otherwise your sleep quality will be affected with that. Then third one is social eating benefits. Yes, we have a lot of benefits of group meals. So when we share our meals, it strengthens our bond and motivation, and something even like it helps us to improve student GPA and engagement. It is also found in one of the researches which is done by Green in 2010. So yeah, we have a lot of benefits of social eating as well. And then the fourth one is behavioral change strategies. So, again, when we are using goal setting, journaling, reflection, it helps maintain our new dietary habits. The same way we track our academic progress. So, as educators, probably we can weave these small wellness moments into our classes. We can encourage hydration, mindful snacking, and nutrition discussions along with our content learning as well. And then let's talk about our action plan. So, we're going to wrap up our session with your brain food action plan. So, these are the 5 easy steps to start nourishing your mind today based on my research. Number one, prioritize omega 3s daily. Yes, include fatty fish twice weekly or plant based options like walnuts. Or maybe flax seeds. So these are plant-based alternatives. So you should have these food items which have omega 3s on daily basis. So please do that. Then eat the rainbow. Again, aim for colorful fruits, vegetables, especially leafy greens and berries like spinach, strawberry, cranberries, blueberries. So these are all food items which help us to maximize the antioxidant intake and helps us to give that cognitive protection. So definitely include this in your diet. Then third one is we should be able to balance our blood sugar. So let us pair whole grains with protein and healthy fats to prevent those crashes, which means that if you are eating complex carbohydrates, you should pair them with some protein and healthy fats. Not the no, you should not eat them alone, right? But otherwise, it is going to impact your overall brain cognitive performance. So try to balance your sugar for your better functioning of the brain. Then the fourth one is nurture your microbiome, which means include fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi for your gut health. It really, really improves your gut health and it is really good for the overall gut-brain communication. So please include that daily in your in your daily life, in your daily diet, sorry. And finally, move and connect. So combine good food with a movement and community for a holistic wellness, right? So when we eat, try to go for small walks, do some kind of exercise if you're sitting for so long. Also try to eat with other social people like your colleagues or your family members instead of eating your food with a device or some kind of screen. So it is better to eat with other people. So it again impacts your overall cognitive performance, right? So remember, small, consistent actions like these, so it compounds over a period of time. Every healthy choice adds up to a sharper, calmer, and more resilient brain. So I hope this was helpful. And yeah, these are the main key takeaways from my session today. So the brain is fueled by nutrients we eat. Better food equals to better learning, right? Healthy fats, antioxidants, vitamins enhance our focus, creativity, and emotional stability. So it is important to have all of them in our daily diet. The gut brain connections reminds us that wellness is holistic. So we should focus on that. And as educators and lifelong learners, integrating nutrition into our learning practice help us teach and think more effectively. So teaching with brain and mind truly means teaching with the whole person in mind, body, mind, and soul. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed my session, and I'd love to hear your thoughts before we wrap up. And also if you want to respond to the discussion post which I'll be posting on the forum, like what is that one brain food you are inspired to add in your meals this week after listening to this session. So feel free to share your reflections, your ideas, or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to discuss all of them and how these small dietary changes can make a big difference into your focus and productivity, right? So thank you so much again for joining me and listening. So yeah, just remember every meal is a chance to feed your potential. Thank you so much, all of you.